Alright guys, so let's talk about the newest episode of Supergirl. And yeah, now the big thing with this episode is that this episode is obviously about racism. This is a very it's a very good episode, but there are some minor flaws I want to talk about. Now, while the theme of the episode is really good and something to touch on, I will say, however, I would like to say that the writing in this episode and talking about the theme it just really hits you over the head at every turn. It's literally screaming at you, "This episode is about racism! Do you hear the theme? We can be louder! Is this good?" There is such a thing as subtlety. But this is a good theme to touch on. But yeah, and there are some points that handle it pretty well. But yeah, this episode just hits you over the head with the theme. Like I said, there is such a thing as subtlety. But yeah. Anyway, so we also get let's talk a bit about Mon-El. Mon-El, this is his big wake up from from the past two episodes. So Mon-El is now officially awake, and it's he freaks out, justifiably freaks out, and takes off. However, they've changed some things about Daxam and the Daxamites. Now, I can't remember exactly, because Daxam's not really a planet we really talk about, because I think Daxam got destroyed, didn't it? But anyway, in DC Comics, Daxam was a planet of a subculture of they were like a subspecies of Kryptonians in a way, and they weren't at war with Krypton. In here it says that Krypton and Daxam were at war with one another over ideals, weirdly enough. So yeah, they had a war that started off, "I don't like you, you don't like me, let's fight." That's okay, whatever. But yeah, I don't remember Daxam and Krypton being that close. I remember them being, if I remember right, they were in the same system, but they were never that close to one another. But anyway, I digress. So, apparently in this version, when Krypton was destroyed, it dragged Daxam with it. Apparently, when Krypton blew up, the chunks destroyed Daxam and made it into a barren wasteland. So, possibly, Mon-El is possibly the last Daxamite. He is the last of the Daxamites, and he couldn't have picked a worse planet to land on. Because if you don't know, Daxamites have a weakness to lead. Lead is a poison to them. It is goddamn incurable. In fact, if he gets scratched with plainly speaking, if Mon-El, scratches his finger with a lead pencil, he's done. That's it. He cannot stand up to lead. So yeah, in a world where literally a lead pencil could kill you, you picked a wrong place to land. Anyway, and also this possibly means we won't get Sodom Yacht. Maybe we will sometime in the future, but yeah, we probably won't get Sodom Yacht. If you don't know who Sodom Yacht is, Sodom Yacht was a very powerful Green Lantern who was also a Daxamite who, during the Sinestro Corps War, carried Ion, the entity of willpower, inside of him to fight Superboy Prime in the Sinestro Corps War. And let me say, that fight was badass. Seriously, you can probably find the fight on YouTube, taken out, but yeah, Superboy Prime versus Sodom Yacht is probably one of the coolest fights ever in comics. Anyway, where was I going with this? Anyway, so yeah, we do have that, Kryptonians and Daxamites did not get along, and Supergirl's projecting all of her racism and, her prejudice towards him, just and thinking that he killed the president when really it was a fire-burning alien, and we get a fire-conjuring alien. I think that's supposed to be Scorch, a Martian Manhunter villain, but if I remember right, Scorch became Jean's wife at one point. It's weird. And also Scorch was a demon, I remember right. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Was that supposed to be Scorch? I don't know. I could be wrong. Just let me know in the comments below if I was wrong. But yeah, we also get Alex hanging out with Maggie Sawyer, and I really like the combination of the two. I really enjoy it, and it looks like they might be hinting at them being in a relationship, which I'd be all for. Not to say oh, it's two girls kissing, yay! I'm not saying that at all. Seriously, Alex hasn't really had a love interest, and yeah, they really have good chemistry they really have good on-screen chemistry between the two. It almost felt like, and I know it's kind of an alien, they're dealing with aliens, but is it just me, or did it feel like J and K, like a female version of J and K hanging out? No, I'm serious. It felt like Men in Black when they went to that bar for aliens. I was like, this is straight out of Men in Black. And they're acting like J and K, and I thought that was really cool. Anyway, with Maggie being like a more cooler version of K, and Alex being like J, it was, I don't know, maybe that was just me who got the Men in Black vibe. Anyway, or should I say Women in Black? I don't know. Let's also talk about the President. We get President played by Linda Carter, who is awesome, but it sucks because it looks like she's going to be an alien villain. I was like, she's so loved. I mean, seriously, why can't, we haven't had a president who's openly loved by everybody since like, ever. She's probably going to be a villain, isn't she? Sure enough, like, she's walking down the hall and her face starts contorting, her eyes start changing shape and color, and I was like, oh man, why'd you make her a villain? She could be a good guy and might be hiding that she's an alien. That might be the case, that she might be hiding that she's an alien this whole time, like Jean was. But yeah, I just have this feeling that, yeah, they're going to make her a villain, aren't they? Also, let's talk a bit about when Snapper was talking to Kara about her biased report, and he was like, "No, this is way too biased." And I was like, "I'm glad, Snapper. I'm glad you're sticking to the facts and making it non-biased and making it a fact." But yeah, there are newspapers out there who will just let their columnists write whatever they want. So good on you for doing that. So for making it non-biased and letting the reporter and telling the reporter, don't do it like that. But yeah, he does it behind. Jimmy decides to pull that. Is like, nope, I'm gonna rewrite it myself and say that and be pro-biased against this whole thing. And yeah, it's a bad idea. What the column is about, written by Kara, is about. Lena Luthor has created a device that will detect aliens hiding in plain sight, and aliens that want to hide. And yeah, that's really bad, but at the same time, you have to play it on both sides. You have to play on both sides. As a journalist, as a true journalist, you have to play on both sides of the field. You can't be totally on one side or another. Although, with today's articles and columnists and all that, it's really easy to play one side of the field instead of the other. Also, I'm still, even though I was defending Snapper earlier, I'm not going to defend him for when he was just totally took Jimmy's whole thing out from under him at the beginning of the episode. That shit will get you fired in the real world. You may be the hottest editor on the block, but if the moment you start, and this goes for any job, really, and I've seen this happen before, when you undermine your boss or manager or whatever, that shit is going to get you fired. Maybe not. Maybe your manager or boss will openly listen to what you have to say, but when you openly do something like what Snapper did, just completely undermine and take control of a situation out from under your boss or your manager, you're out the door. Real life, you are out the door. But yeah, I will say that it got rectified later in the episode of like when Jimmy said, "No, you do that again, you're gonna get fired." But yeah, if Jimmy had that sense at the beginning of the episode, then yeah, Snapper would have been right out the fucking door. And I don't mean to sound mean or anything. It's just that I've seen this happen at jobs. I've seen this happen in the real world, and I'm pretty sure you guys who are who have jobs, have seen this happen before. It doesn't matter if you're a journalist or not. If this applies to all forms of any jobs across the board. If you do that, and in front of your boss, no less, that is going to get you fired. That's possibly going to get you fired. So, yeah. I mean, again, I know it got rectified later in the episode, but still, I was like, come on, Jimmy, that's like, he just totally undermined you. He took your balls out from under you. So, if that was me, I'd have been like, pack your shit and get out. Like, that'd have been me. I know it got rectified later in the episode, but at the same time, if that was me in the situation, I'd have been like, pack your shit and get out. You don't do that in front of my face. Get out. Anyone else? No? Bye. Whew. Sorry. Oh, boy. Ooh, the blood pressure's rising a little bit. Anyway, so, episode was pretty good. I liked the introduction of Maggie. And we got McGann! Awesome! Although I'm wondering, from how they spun it, I'm wondering how if Maggie is going to be not Maggie, McGann, is going to be a white Martian, or are they just going to make her a green Martian? Because if those who don't know, well, actually, probably all know, you've seen Young Justice, she's not really a green Martian, she's a white Martian. And white Martians have already been shown to be kind of mean. So it could be that she's faking her identity of a green Martian, but yeah, she's a Martian nonetheless. So I'm wondering, are they going to make her a straight-up green Martian in this episode, or are they going to hide that she's really a white Martian? I'm wondering. All in all, the episode's pretty good. I still thought it was pretty fun. The villain was this villain of the girl was just kind of like, I'm evil. I'm Magneto. Not really. But it was still a pretty fun episode. All in all, pretty good. I like the introduction of Maggie. It's cool to see McGann, and I'm really excited to see Roulette. Problem is that she won't have any ties to the JSA. But then again, how Legends of Tomorrow treat the JSA, it's probably better that she stays in her own universe. Anyway, so you guys tell me, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.